Good evening, my name is Garrett, and welcome to The Last Call. Tonight's final drink is from Milam and Greene. This is their bottled and bond straight bourbon whiskey, coming in at a 50% ABV, at least 4 years old. So for full disclosure, this was a media sample that was sent over for us to take a look at and a review, so just keeping that transparency open. So Milam and Greene is actually based out of Texas, and they're doing a lot of interesting things when it comes to blending, finishing, and just trying to make that perfect bourbon in their eyes. This is their bottled and bond expression, which has been on the books for a while to get this made. So what they've actually done here is they reached out to a distillery in Bardstown, Kentucky, and did contract distillation. Now, what typically happens is when you need whiskey, you can either make it yourself, or you can do what's called a contract distillation, or you can source it and just buy it straight out from somebody. When you contract distillate, you say, hey, I want to use your still, I want to use your barrels, your rick house, all that kind of good stuff. I want it with this mash bill, and kind of give them all the details you want. And if they agree to it, they'll do all the work for you. And then you get the product that you created with their instruments, essentially. And that's what this is. They do tell us it's a mash bill of 70% corn, 22 malted rye, and 8% malted barley. On top of that, again, we know that it's bottled and bond, so it's 50% ABV, at least 4 years old, aged in a government-bonded warehouse, all the grain from a single season, and it's all done under one master distiller. And they do also tell us that they're using number 4 char barrels in this as well. We really appreciate that kind of transparency on their big thumbs up. When you give us those nitty-gritty details, it tells the story of the product in my eyes. So, let's just jump into the spirit itself and see how it goes. And as always, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, hang around for a bit, become a member if you'd like. If you're interested in some other reviews over Milam and Greene that I've done, they'll be linked up above and down below for you to check out. I've purchased a few things, I've done a few reviews for them as well, and overall I've had a really good experience with their products. Beautiful, kind of a dark oaky color there. That's gorgeous. Alrighty, let's go for notes. Ooh, very sweet. You get a lot of that kind of sweet apple, orchard notes. A little grain corn dustiness in there. The malted rye they're using is coming across with a bit of green grassy, a little herbal, maybe a dash of medicinal in there. That barley is kind of showing, bringing a little bit of waxiness to the nose. I love the maltiness to things. As I keep going back, I get a little bit of almost a sugary, dry, sweet cinnamon note, like cinnamon red hots. The grain notes are showing up more and more, almost like a cornfield on a hot summer day. Yeah, still no ABV, nothing harsh, no off notes. A little bit of honey in there too, here at the very finish with that granola kind of grain notes going on. But overall, really solid nose, pretty complex for being only 4 years old. So, let's go for a taste. Right up front, you're getting that kind of sweet buttery corn notes. Fresh baked bread in here, a little bit of that rice spice going on. That cinnamon note showing up for me too. Little sweet. The orchard doesn't come across in the taste itself. It's fairly heavy-handed in those notes. A little oaky, a little charry going on in here in the late finish. A little bit of wood sugars going on, but not even much of that. Coats the palate just right. Little floral note showing up here from the bit of rye going on. The big thing for me is that it's predominantly that corn kind of leading the pack, and then that finish being that charry, oaky, almost like oaky tannin notes going on. And then I'm also finding a little bit of that cinnamon in there. I'm a big cinnamon fan personally. There is a little bit of ethanol in the taste, not heavy-handed in it, but it's enough to show up. Third sip here, I'm finding a bit of spearmint. It shows up really at the beginning now and kind of rides through that mid-palate. Kind of refreshing. It's not heavy-handed in that, but just a nice minty freshness going on there. All right, so what do we grade something like this? So typical pricing on this tends to be right around that mid to low $60 price range. And with the whole package from the flavor to the price, I think a B- tends to be where this one lands for me. As much as I love that palette and they're transparent about everything, the biggest criticism I have is probably on that pricing. There's a lot of great bottled and bond products out there, especially coming from your craft distilleries nowadays. And if you can get this for that high 50s price range, if you can find it at that, I'd probably file it up to a B at that point. But with that 60 to 65 pricing on it, I'd say B minus, because the flavors are really good. It gets a good thumbs up, and I'm definitely going to buy a bottle when I find it on the shelf here in Indiana. Either way, it's a sip to experience, so big thumbs up on it. I really do like it. So yeah, there you have it, folks. Milam and Greene bottled and bond straight bourbon whiskey. If you have any questions about the bottle itself, let me know down in the comment section below. I will do my best to answer it. And if you have any specific spirits I should go looking for, also let me know down below. Love doing these reviews and sharing with you the experience at home. And as always, may your last drink of the night be the best one.
You know, and I really like it might